The concept of oneness of everything is a profound and ancient idea that has echoed through the corridors of philosophy, science, and spirituality for centuries. It speaks to the fundamental interconnectedness of all existence, suggesting that at the deepest level, everything in the universe is intricately linked, forming a singular, unified whole. This idea transcends the boundaries of individual identities, distinctions, and separations that we perceive in everyday life, proposing instead that all beings, objects, and forces are expressions of a single, underlying reality. In the realm of science, this notion is reflected in the interconnectedness observed in ecosystems, the vast networks of energy and matter in the cosmos, and the intricate web of quantum entanglements that bind particles across unimaginable distances. Spiritually, it is often expressed in the belief that all life shares a common source or essence, leading to teachings of unity, compassion, and universal love. Understanding the oneness of everything helps us rethink our relationship with the world around us. It challenges us to see beyond the illusion of separation, to recognize our shared existence, and to act with greater empathy and respect for all forms of life. Embracing this oneness fosters a sense of harmony and peace, both within ourselves and in our interactions with the broader universe. It is a call to live with the awareness that every action, thought, and intention reverberates throughout the entirety of existence. Humanity has only recently begun to grasp the profound depths of its inner nature. For millennia, we've existed largely unaware of the spiritual essence that resides within each of us. Now, as we awaken to this dimension of our being, we find ourselves in a state of confusion and wonder. In this nascent stage of self-discovery, we struggle to differentiate between the various aspects of our inner experience. The boundaries between mind, consciousness, and sensation often blur, leaving us uncertain of where one ends and another begins. We grapple with questions of identity and existence that our ancestors never thought to ask. Yet, as we continue on this journey of exploration, we approach a revolutionary understanding. Our physical forms are not separate from us, but rather expressions of our innermost selves. These bodies we inhabit are intricate mechanisms, crafted by the very essence they seek to manifest. This essence, call it the self, the soul, or the spirit, is not an isolated entity. Instead, it serves as a conduit for something even greater. Through the self, we connect to the universal consciousness, the divine source, or what many simply call God. In this light, we begin to see that our individual existence is inextricably linked to the cosmic whole. As we deepen our understanding of this interconnectedness, we may come to realize that the distinction between self and universe, between individual and divine, is more fluid than we once believed. We are not merely separate beings observing the cosmos, but integral parts of its unfolding story, unique expressions of a universal rhythm that pulses through all of existence. He is not far from each of us, for in him we live and move and have our being. This universal mind permeates all that is, serving as the foundation for everything we perceive and experience. It is the wellspring from which all thoughts, all forms, and all phenomena arise. In this light, we begin to see that diversity and multiplicity are expressions of a singular, all-encompassing reality. The implications of this understanding are profound. It suggests that beneath the apparent separation and individuality we experience, there exists a deeper unity. There is, in essence, only one mind thinking, one self experiencing, one life expressing itself in myriad forms. This oneness extends to all aspects of existence. The power that moves galaxies is the same power that beats our hearts. The consciousness that dreams up universe is the same consciousness that dreams our nightly visions. The soul that animates the cosmos is the same soul that stirs within each of us. We are not isolated entities in a vast, indifferent universe. Instead, we are unique expressions of a singular reality, each embodying the totality in our own distinct way. Our individual experiences, thoughts, and actions are like waves on the surface of a vast ocean of consciousness, seemingly separate, yet fundamentally one. God's omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence are centered in the consciousness of every man, but few there are who know of the oneness of their self-soul with the universal self-soul. The power of a lever lies not in its material composition or its movement, but in the stillness of its fulcrum. It is from this fixed point that the lever derives its ability to exert force. In the same way, God is the fulcrum of humanity and the universe. Neither individuals nor any moving object possesses inherent power. All power expressed by humans must be derived directly from the divine source. When Jesus says, "I and my Father are one," he is not merely stating a personal relationship with God, but rather highlighting the fundamental truth that the divine and the human are intrinsically linked. This oneness transcends the boundaries between the Creator and creation, suggesting that all life is an extension of the divine essence. Everything that exists is a manifestation of the same source, and therefore inherently connected. Similarly, when Jesus references, "Ye are gods," he was emphasizing that human beings carry within themselves the divine spark. This statement is a reminder that we are not separate from the divine. Instead, we are participants in the divine reality. Each individual has the potential to recognize their unity with God and, by extension, with all of creation. These teachings can be understood as an invitation to see beyond the illusion of separation. The boundaries we perceive, between ourselves and others, between the physical and the spiritual, are ultimately constructs of the mind. At the deepest level, everything is interconnected, part of a singular reality. In this light, oneness is not just a spiritual concept, but a profound truth about the nature of existence. Recognizing this oneness helps us to live with a deeper sense of connection to all beings and the universe, and a sense of unity with the world around us. Imagine a perfectly calm sea, its surface a mirror of tranquility. In this state of absolute stillness, there is no change, no differentiation, only an immeasurable, unified quality of oneness. This calm represents the fundamental nature of existence, a state of pure potential and undifferentiated being. Now, picture waves arising from this calm. As they form, we can suddenly measure, count, and observe change. These waves, in their endless variety and constant motion, symbolize the manifest universe as we experience it. No 2 points on these waves are identical. Each is unique in its combination of height, depth, and motion. This metaphor illuminates the nature of our universe. From the calm sea of unified, still light, which we might call the source, the divine, or the absolute, springs forth the dynamic, measurable universe of motion and form. This universe is composed of countless light waves, each a dynamic expression of the underlying stillness. The manifest universe, with its myriad forms and phenomena, is thus a grand simulation of the unmanifest source. It is a realm of duality and apparent separation, where the singular quality of oneness expresses itself through countless quantities of seeming opposites. Yet, crucial to understand is that these expressions, these quantities, are not separate from their source. They are manifestations, not divisions. In this light, we can see creation as one whole idea, expressing itself through infinite variations and apparent divisions. These divisions, however, are illusory. They are the play of light and motion, creating the appearance of separateness while remaining intrinsically united with their source. This understanding reveals a profound truth. There are no truly separate or separable entities in the universe. Everything we perceive as distinct and individual is, in fact, an inseparable part of a greater whole. The universe is not a collection of discrete objects and beings, but a singular, interconnected simulation of the one idea. The implications of this realization are far-reaching. It suggests that every part of existence is intimately connected with every other part. The boundaries we perceive between objects, between self and other, between humanity and nature, are constructs of our limited perception. In the deeper reality, all things are indissolubly united. This unity doesn't negate the beauty and importance of individual expression. Rather, it places it in a broader context. Each seemingly separate entity or phenomenon is a unique expression of the whole, contributing its distinct note to the universal symphony. Centuries ago, when Jesus proclaimed, "God is light," the full depth of this statement remained beyond the grasp of his contemporaries. Today, we stand at the threshold of a new understanding, one that invites us to explore the profound implications of this ancient wisdom. The concept of light, as used in this context, transcends our everyday understanding. It's not merely the visible spectrum we perceive with our eyes, but a fundamental principle that underpins the very fabric of existence. This light is the primordial energy, the cosmic consciousness, the source from which all of creation springs forth. As we probe deeper into the nature of reality, we find that light, in its most essential form, is indeed all there is. It is the underlying substance and driving force of the universe. From the dance of subatomic particles to the majestic swirl of galaxies, from the spark of consciousness to the intricate processes of life itself, all are expressions of this fundamental light. This realization aligns with cutting-edge scientific theories that describe the universe in terms of energy and information. It resonates with spiritual teachings across cultures that speak of an all-pervading divine presence. In this light, we can begin to see the profound unity behind the apparent diversity of existence. Understanding light in this way opens up vast new frontiers of knowledge and experience. It helps us to explore the nature of consciousness, the interconnectedness of all things, and our own role in the grand design of the universe. It challenges us to look beyond the surface appearances and to perceive the luminous essence that animates all of reality. All existence is rooted in the stillness of God's one light. God is the universal mind, the intelligence that permeates all things. Within God's mind resides one idea, the perfect whole of creation. We are all integral parts of this divine unity. Duality, the illusion of separation, serves as a learning experience to expand our consciousness and deepen our connection to the divine. There is no true division. All is one. The law of oneness calls us to accept everyone and everything as they are, without judgment. Treat others as you would wish to be treated, says the golden rule. Just as a single thread affects the entire fabric and tapestry, our actions impact the whole of existence. Before acting, consider the consequences from the perspective of others. This practice can lead to more compassionate choices. Each soul is on its unique journey back to source. We have no right to judge the paths others take. Our focus should be on doing our best and honoring the divine within ourselves and others. It's important to acknowledge our human limitations and strive for self-compassion. Constant criticism or fault-finding can hinder the growth and potential of ourselves and those around us. By embracing the divinity in all beings, we create a more harmonious and fulfilling world for ourselves and others. Being open fosters connection and breaks down barriers. You are a radiant light, capable of illuminating the world around you. Only self-imposed limitations can obscure your brilliance. Seek your inner light and recognize the divine spark in others. When we embrace our unity, there is no need for division. The new spirituality is about building bridges. By living the law of one, we find common ground across religions, cultures, and conflicts. Harm inflicted on any part of God's creation ultimately affects ourselves and the divine whole. Understanding the law of one leads to the recognition of your own divinity. You begin to trust your intuition and seek inner guidance rather than external validation. You become a co-creator with God, shaping the world through your thoughts and actions. On Earth, we often categorize experiences as good or bad, light or dark. Yet, darkness serves a purpose. It is a teacher and a guide, helping us to grow and evolve. Recognizing this interconnectedness allows us to transcend duality and embrace oneness. Just as a loving mother nurtures her child's growth, your spirit guides you on your journey. You are here to experience, learn, and become the magnificent being you were always meant to be. Accepting your own divinity is the first step toward living in harmony with the law of one. The universe moves in a grand, synchronized dance, every part intimately connected to every other. Like the intricate gears of a watch working in perfect harmony, the cosmos operates as a unified whole. But while a watch is mechanically linked, the universe is bound together by subtler forces, waves of energy that pulse through all of existence. This interconnectedness means that the universe must maintain a delicate balance. Any change in one part reverberates throughout the whole, creating a cascade of effects that ripple across space and time. This principle extends to humanity as well. Despite our apparent separateness, we are all expressions of a singular idea, united in the light of our common source. To better understand this concept, consider the analogy of a cinema. On the screen, we see a multitude of images, characters and objects seemingly separate, engaged in complex interactions. We hear a cacophony of sounds, each apparently distinct. Yet we know that all of this, every image, every sound, springs from a single source, the projector's light. If we were to switch off this light, the entire spectacle would instantly cease. The movement, the noise, the apparent conflict and drama, all would vanish in an instant. This reveals a profound truth. The cause of all the diversity and dynamism we perceive lies in the singular, still source from which it all emanates. In the same way, our pulsating universe, with all its myriad forms and phenomena, is a projection of one universal mind. This mind, like the projector's light, is still and unified, yet from it springs the entire cosmos, manifesting as positive and negative expressions of light and energy. The duality we perceive, the interplay of opposing forces, the rhythm of expansion and contraction, the cycle of birth and death, all of this emerges from the underlying unity of the source. Just as the cinema's sounds emanate from silence and its images from stillness, so too does our dynamic universe arise from the stillness of universal mind. This understanding helps us see beyond the apparent chaos and separateness of our world. It challenges us to recognize that beneath the surface, turbulence lies a profound order and unity. Every oscillation, every vibration, every rhythm we perceive is an expression of this fundamental oneness. By aligning ourselves with this universal rhythm, we can begin to experience our deep connection to all of existence. We can recognize that our individual lives are not isolated events, but integral parts of a cosmic symphony. Our thoughts, our actions, our very being resonates with and influences the whole. This perspective offers a new way of engaging with life. It suggests that by attuning ourselves to the universal rhythm, by recognizing our essential unity with all things, we can live in greater harmony with ourselves, with others, and with the cosmos itself. Embracing the idea of oneness shifts our perspective from seeing ourselves as isolated individuals to recognizing our place within a larger, interdependent universe. This shift fosters a deeper sense of empathy as we come to understand that our actions affect not just ourselves, but the entire web of life. It encourages us to act with greater kindness, compassion, and responsibility, knowing that our choices resonate far beyond our immediate surroundings. Understanding oneness also has profound implications for our mental and emotional well-being. It can reduce feelings of loneliness and isolation as we realize that we are never truly alone. Every breath we take is shared with the trees, the oceans, and all living beings. This awareness brings a deep sense of peace and belonging, grounding us in the present moment and reducing stress and anxiety. Moreover, recognizing oneness allows us to align our lives with the natural flow of the universe. It encourages mindfulness, balance, and harmony, leading to healthier relationships, more meaningful work, and a greater sense of purpose. By living in tune with the principle of oneness, we cultivate a life of greater joy, resilience, and fulfillment as we move through the world with the awareness that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. This understanding encourages us to move beyond ego-driven desires and recognize that the well-being of one is inseparable from the well-being of all. By embracing this unity, we align ourselves with the natural flow of existence, cultivating compassion, harmony, and a deeper awareness of our true nature. Ultimately, the law of oneness reminds us that we are not isolated fragments, but integral threads in the cosmic fabric, where all things arise and return to the same eternal essence. Thanks for watching. I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comment section and subscribe for more inspiring videos.